billion, I would willingly live in the middle of the ocean. If you pay DK Metcalf $30 million, I think he will be okay living in Green Bay, Wisconsin for 5 months out of the 12. I think he'll be all right at $30 million. I get when you are requesting a trade and you have some leverage, which DK Metcalf does, you can make some weird and outlandish requests. And granted, warm weather isn't that outlandish. But if you're also asking for $30 million, I think you're probably just going to be happy with anybody that says, yeah, I'll pay you $30 million, whether that's Green Bay or whether that's Los Angeles. I think you'll be happy either way. So, despite the fact DK Metcalf asking for $30 million in a warm weather climate, I don't think that should mean anything about the Packers. The Packers should still attempt to be in the mix. Now, Kyle, let me just ask you this. As we read the report from Diana Rossini, $30 million and a second-round pick is what it's going to take to acquire the services of DK Metcalf. Would you send this year's second-round pick to the Seattle Seahawks to bring in DK Metcalf and sign him to likely something that looks like a 4-year, $120 million contract?
I'm out on DK.
Are you?
I'm out on DK. Listen, you know me. Listen, you listen to Kyle Brust and Norman. You listen 2 to 5 here weekdays on ESPN Wisconsin. I have always been on the fence about DK. I said if they got him, I wouldn't be mad. But there's just something about him that I just felt uneasy about. Listen, maybe call it because I feel a little salty because I'm from a cold weather climate about 6 months out of the year. But the fact that the guy said, I want $30 million, and then on top of that, he prefers to go to a warm weather climate, and he didn't say, I prefer to go to a contender. I prefer to go to a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl. That rubs me the wrong way, right? And everybody, to each their own. You have every right to play football for what you want to do it for. You can play it for money. You can play it to be able to relax. You can play it for fame, or you can play it to win championships. And a guy sitting here saying his number one thing is money and warm weather, and he doesn't say, I want to go to a contender publicly, or that's not put out publicly, that is concerning to me because at the end of the day, yeah, DK probably wants to win a championship, but that's probably not a priority. He would probably love to go down to Miami. He'd probably love to go down to Texas somewhere. He'll probably love to be somewhere in California where it's nice and warm. He can go to the clubs. You know what I say, Strofe? Ship his ass to Jacksonville. Send him. He want warm weather. He want $30 million. I know a team that's willing to pay you, and I know a place that's warm. Ship his ass to Jacksonville and see how much fun he has in Duval.
Well done. Well done. Nice Liam Cohen impression there at the end by Kyle Wallace. Alex Strofe with you here on Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. I'm just excited to get Brad Nortman's reaction to you talking about Jacksonville that way.
Brad moved out of Jacksonville quickly, too.
No, he didn't.
He came back to Wisconsin. He didn't have to come back to Wisconsin.
Right, but he stayed there for like 3 years after his career ended.
Nah, it's because of free taxes.
And he goes back. Yeah, that's probably true.
Taxes.
That's probably true. But he likes it there. Still goes back. He was just there. He goes back there.
He got friends there.
He's got friends there.
There's also Brad.
That's fair.
Plain Jane Brad. Shout out to Brad if he's listening.
Brad Nortman, Kyle Brust and Nortman, 6-year NFL veteran, the former NFL punter. Spent 2 years in Jacksonville, the final 2 years of his career. A big week for him, by the way, announcing his wife is pregnant with their first child, expecting their first child.
Congratulations to them.
Nortman's happy for them. That is awesome news. So the DK Metcalf news is just plainly absurd. But look, to Kyle's point, you can react that way, or you can react calmly, which I am choosing to do. Kyle doesn't often react calmly.
So are you still in on
yes,
DK? I mean,
absolutely.
So you're good with paying him $30 million a year?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, he's worth it. Here's the thing. If you sign a receiver to that dollar amount, you do have to understand that means Christian Watson isn't back next year. That means Romeo Doubs isn't back next year.
More than likely, yeah, which I'm okay with.
And then you have another year to figure out Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, right? Maybe you can get Wicks for cheap and you pay Jaden Reed a decent amount. Or, by the way, another guy that's going to have a contract conversation coming up next year, 2026 this is Tucker Kraft.
Yep.
Yeah. Who, by the way...
Took shots at you.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Tucker Kraft posting the video of my failed 3-cone drill on his Instagram story over the weekend with the caption, sports analysts should have to compete in combine every year to dictate their salary.
I'd be paid pretty decently well.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess if we did it by state. If we did it by national, then I would do terrible. But I feel like in the state of Wisconsin, I match up pretty well with the rest of the guys who talk sports.
Similarly to how I get paid to do Sunday Karma, I would get paid $0.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I get some little chump change. You would get paid nothing. You honestly, there's some guys. I'm telling you, Homer would outdo you. He would.
Yeah, in the 3-cone at least. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe in the 40 too. You ran a 6-second 40.
I did. Now
that's really bad.
Now how how accurate was our timing?
What do you mean? Hand time, typically you're better because you start and then they react to you.
Right, so but he's 40 yards away from me. How does he know when I'm starting?
He sees your body move. That's the whole point. Hand time, typically you have the advantage as a runner because they have to respond.
I think I could break 6 seconds. I think we could go running in the commercial break.
You ran 6.2. You ran 6.23, didn't you?
6.28, yeah.
That's pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Like really pathetic.
I'm not, Kyle, I've read the comments. I know.
I think it's hard to actually do that.
Kyle, I've read the comments. I understand.
You want to redeem yourself at some point?
Yeah, I do. And I will. If that's next year, if that's next week, we'll all find out together. All right, we'll continue to talk DK Metcalf. Free agency officially opens 24 hours, 46 minutes from right now. 11 a.m. Central tomorrow morning is when teams can officially negotiate and agree to deals with free agents. And the fun part about this is they call it the legal negotiation period. Let me break some news to you. There's already deals in place. We just won't know until 11 a.m. tomorrow. Because when 11 a.m. hits, you're going to hear about contracts at 11:01. And it goes, whoa, how did you magically come to an agreement in 60 seconds? How'd that happen?
So fast.
How'd that happen? It was just meant to be. You just knew what you wanted. Now, there's probably already deals in place, and there will be tonight, but we won't hear about it until 11 a.m. tomorrow, which is great. Tomorrow is going to be chaotic. So I remind you, ESPN Wisconsin has you covered. Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon. Mr. Relevant is going to be on ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube beginning at 12:15. Special start time tomorrow with you until 2 o'clock.
What time do you usually start?
12:30.
I don't know. I usually just look in there. I try to wave at you from the Truth
Station.
Yeah,
you're on Truth to Power, 101.7 The Truth. So we'll be with you about 12:15 till 2 o'clock. Jason Wilde will join us.
2 hours.
Just about 2 hours. Yeah, we're going to be live. And look, I usually direct people to the Mr. Relevant podcast feed. Tomorrow is a day where you're going to want to be with us live because the news is changing so fast tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You're going to want to be with us live. And then Kyle Preston Nortman, Homer Hour, of course, with you. 2 to 5 KBN, 5 to 6, the Homer Hour on ESPN Milwaukee. 2 to 4 KBN, 4 to 6, Jim, Matt, and Molly on ESPN Madison tomorrow, breaking down everything in free agency. We will continue to discuss, what do you want to see the Packers do tomorrow? Is there a name? Is there a position? Are you in on DK Metcalf? Let me know on the Cardinals Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. More Sunday Karma after this.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Will Myles Garrett be in Green Bay next season?
You add a Myles Garrett without giving up a ton, all of a sudden now you start looking, well, then they got Edgerrin Cooper at the next level. Oh, and then they got Xavier McKinney at the next level. Oh. The Packers have an opportunity here to make the big splash, and I think they should go and do it.
Stay up to date on all your Packers off-season news with Wilde and Tausch. Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey Bucks fans, Josh DiMaggio here. Join me and Michelob Ultra this Thursday night at Champs Americana in Brookfield. I'll be at Champs watching the Bucks take on the Lakers starting at 6:30. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes and watch the game. Also, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Who's on 3rd, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Maddie's in New Berlin, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. See you Thursday at Champs in Brookfield for the game. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $1,000 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at TPC Sawgrass, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through March 31st. Your winter chance to play TPC Sawgrass awaits. wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk. 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Gang. Shit, I ain't in the mood. I don't want your I'm cool. Got 100 mil on my to-do list. Got killed with a you stupid. Slide this way, just don't miss. Don't hit when we come back, shoot. Talking about everybody know him.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It is Sunday Karma. No Craig Karmazin, no Greg Scalzo. Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace holding it down with you this Sunday morning. Man, can we talk about how exciting of a time period we are in right now? We are 1 day away from free agency open. We are 1 week away from Selection Sunday in college basketball. We are, about 3 weeks away from opening day in the MLB. We are 46 days away from the start of the NFL draft up in Green Bay. This is an awesome time of the year. Awesome time of the year. And it is just getting more and more interesting as the clock continues to wind. DK Metcalf's asking price has gone down, according to Diana Rossini of The Athletic. The Seahawks now asking for a package centered around a second-round pick. So that means...
I wouldn't be mad, though.
Well, that essentially means they're going to want more than a second-round pick, but that would be the biggest sweetener, right? So like a second and a fifth, or a second and a sixth is likely what that means to get it done for DK Metcalf.
I mean, they'll probably send you something back, right?
Yeah, you could probably do like a second and pick swaps in the fifth.
Something like that. Because, I mean, for me personally, if we can keep Romeo, we can keep Tay, I think that's good for the Green Bay Packers.
Or maybe you send them a second and a fifth, they give you a sixth, something like that.
I mean, it's probably worth it, what he has done. He's one of the very few receivers in league history to be able to have 6 straight seasons of 50 straight catches, right?
50 catches and 900 yards,
yeah. So he's a very, very good football player.
I think he's the only player ever in the first 6 seasons of his career to do 50 catches and 900 yards in all 6 seasons. Now, let's keep in mind, Jamar Chase a little bit younger. Justin Jefferson a little bit younger. I think Jefferson's 6th season will be this year. And he'll probably, I would imagine he's hit those marks, 50 catches and 900 yards each of those seasons. So as of now, DK is the only one to do it, but I would imagine there's a couple right on his tails. Regardless, really impressive showing. He's been durable. He's been consistent. He had a career low in touchdown catches this year. But all in all, he's still a really good receiver.
Yeah, my preference is Devontae and drafting a rookie.
Yeah, sure. Chef Ed is with you on the Cardinals Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Chef Ed chimes in, DK is a me guy. I would much rather have Devontae, but unfortunately, I think Goody is going to run it back, which
Chef
I think
Ed,
is an
how
interesting
do you know
text.
That? Is it because he's a little different, and basically he could be what part of these anime characters this week, the way he puts the stuff on his eye and the eyeliner and the hair?
Way to bring it in local. The Anime Milwaukee convention going on this weekend, right up the street from us. So we have seen some costumes. So I parked my car here because I live down here. So I was walking through.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that.
Yesterday. It's okay. Nobody knows what I drive. I mean, you saw fake guns, you saw fake swords, you saw costumes. I mean, it was a sight to behold. Glad everybody's having fun, though. So anyway, back to DK. Yeah, the reports out of Seattle is he can be selfish, but he's also a superstar athlete, right? Like, let's understand, there's got to be a little ego that comes along with that, rather. And with DK, it does. That's no exception, and that's okay. If you come to a place like Green Bay, I think you're going to realize very fast this is a team-first culture, not a me-first culture. And I think guys can be talked into that and shift their headspace a little bit. I really do. Right, Jair is a guy who has a big ego and is a me
how'd that
guy.
Work out?
Overall, well, minus the injuries.
I mean, these last two seasons, it did not go well. I mean,
but I
the
think
season started off great, and then when he had to actually,
but he wasn't unhappy. He was not unhappy this year.
At the end of the year, he became frustrated. I don't know about unhappy. He became frustrated with the situation between his personal feeling of his injury and maybe the team wanted him to come back.
Yeah.
There was some combativeness that happened this year and last year as well. So, again, I am not against DK Metcalf. I just feel like at the end of the day, when we get to, let's say he signs a 4-year extension or whatever it is, right? By the time we get by the time we get heading into the fourth season, we already know what's going to happen. Depending if he's performing at a high level, he's going to complain. He's probably going to ask for a trade. I just have these vibes about him. But I do know he's going to perform on Sunday. So I guess you use him up until you can't use him no more.
Yeah, fair enough. I won't argue. I'm still in on DK. I am still open to the idea. Now, I'm with everybody that's saying I'd rather Devontae. I've always felt that way. I've been the captain of the BBD campaign, the Bring Back Devontae campaign.
So you've been the captain, not Chef Ed or anybody else.
Chef Ed is
or Jason Wilde or Mark Tauscher.
Chef Ed is the creator of the BBD campaign. I am the one that's peddled it, and I am the one that's promoted it. So therefore, I'm the captain. Chef Ed the creator.
Okay, interesting acronym.
BBD, yeah. Get your mind out of the gutter. BBD, Bring Back Devontae. I feel like that's pretty simple.
I love it.
Yep. Doesn't mean anything else.
Got it.
Thank you for keeping your head out of the gutter. We are a mature program here on Sunday Karma. Kyle Bruston Nortman, weekdays from 2 to 5. I don't know if we're a mature program. Come on. You were sitting on that? You were waiting to drop that? Really?
But no, we do. I do love bringing back.
You're dropping that on your CEO show?
I'll bring it. What do you mean? I didn't say anything. I just want to bring back Devontae. I do. I'm a big fan of bringing back Devontae Adams just because of what he can do for this Green Bay Packer team. And I don't know, man. The thing that concerns me is there's one or two things because Devontae, there hasn't been a lot of concrete rumors. And so what concerns me is that we haven't heard anything about the Packers or Devontae flying to meet with anybody or any type of rumors, right? And so I guess what's happening is, and maybe this is the tier of what they see Devontae as, is you've heard about what's happening with DK, movement with him. You heard about movement with T. Higgins, obviously, because he got the franchise tag and they're probably going to re-sign him, right? But what we haven't heard is any rumors and whispers about, Devontae is leaning this way or leaning that way. And maybe it's because you need to wait for the first day of free agency to clear, where all the big names go, right? And then you get to the 32-year-olds that you want to figure out who you're going to bring in. So it's going to be a lot of fireworks, man. I think this is probably one of the more entertaining off seasons in the NFL so far. I mean, and it comes right after an entertaining trade season for the NBA.
Yep.
And I'm not a hockey guy, but I know there's been an entertaining entertaining in-season trade for trade, during the season for.
Yeah, the deadline just happened this week, and it was completely crazy.
And so again, I just this has been just very interesting.
Yeah, it has been. And it's going to deliver because, a reminder, we're just getting started. Right? Think about all.
It hasn't even really started. And Von Miller just got cut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trey Hendrickson is two of the best defensive players in the NFL have requested a trade. One of the best receivers in the NFL has requested a trade. Matt Stafford, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, got a chance to go look for a trade. Geno Smith, who resurrected his career in Seattle, has been traded already. There is just movements. Aaron Rodgers isn't even a marquee name right now.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel got traded.
This is insane.
Cooper Kupp's going to get traded.
Yes,
he just won Super Bowl MVP 3 years ago.
It is insane, all the player movement that is going to be happening during the offseason. I guess it makes up for a weaker free agency pool.
Yeah, it does. But there are still some great names in the free agency market, too, though. And there are some that Goody needs to target. We will get into some of those, as well as this DK Metcalf nonsense, with our pal Jason Wilde, 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, recently announced you can now read all of his stuff for free. Not behind a paywall anymore. Channel3000.com. Interesting piece from him today that we will get into coming up next. It talks about the idea of Brian Gutekunst shifting his MO to add more players in their 30s.
Really?
Well, Jason's just pondering if that could be a possibility this week.
Oh, maybe Jason pondered because he was listening to Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Championship teams often are not the youngest in the league. Let's just put it that way. So for the Packers, who are still the youngest team in the league, maybe it's time to add some veterans. We get into that with Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch coming up next right here on Sunday Karma.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Menards is the one-stop shop for huge savings on new, energy-efficient appliances. Upgrade your home today and save big on top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. Buy now, save now on Whirlpool appliances you can take home today. Check out our entire selection of home appliances on Menards.com. Plus, view the weekly flyer for many other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Your old or broken phone can let you down when you need it most.
Perfect.
But at Verizon, trade in any old phone from our top brands and get the most for it, up to $2,000 in value for an amazing new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and a new line on My Plan, and iPad and Apple Watch Series 10. That's like a 3-for-1. And you can get it on any plan. At Verizon, trade in your old phone for a brand new iPhone 16 Pro, iPad, and Apple Watch. The other guys won't give you that. Visit Verizon.com today. Additional terms apply. Service plan required for Apple Watch and iPad. Up to $2,000 value based on iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. apply. First wash free for new members only.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
He thinks he left the video stream for 5 minutes.
When I say I am sweating, I am out of shape drastically.
This is ESPN Milwaukee on 94.5 ESPN and on video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Color peacock, thuggin' in my Reebok, cut the dreads and relock. But the feds, I butt the feds, you butt the feds, and link up. I'ma see but my diamonds V-cut. Gotta despise a free lunch, I don't want nothing free. Bring me a Carter B, nickname Cardiac, making it hard.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Mustard! Sunday Karma. Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace with you on this Sunday morning. Excited to be joined now by the three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, the co-host of Wilde and Tausch, weekdays from 9 to noon. Here on ESPN Wisconsin, the great Jason Wilde joins us this Sunday morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Can you explain to the middle-aged fat white guy why you yelled mustard?
Number one, you're not fat. Don't call yourself that. Number two, mustard.
Obese.
You are not. Mustard is from a Kendrick Lamar song that we played during Super Bowl Sunday, and Craig Karmazin got such a kick out of it that he often just randomly yells mustard on this program. So despite him not being here, I figured I would at least throw one mustard out there.
Yeah, I don't want to go so far as to say Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show is the best thing that ever happened to me, because that would be obviously an overstatement.
Sure would be.
But it has forced me to improve my knowledge, and it's a slow but steady process of today's music movers and shakers. And Sydney was familiar with a number of his songs, and so now it has forced me, and now when we're in the car and we're listening to music and Not Like Us comes on, not only do I know the song, but I know the story behind the song. I feel like
nice.
I've been,
Wait a minute, is your daughter
educated.
saying they not like us? They not like us. They not like us.
Not only is she saying that, I think most folks her age sing along with that
This
song.
is wonderful. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's from California all the way up to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I sense that Jason's a little less enthusiastic than Kyle about this.
I like it.
Well, I mean, obviously, but again, she knows the backstory too, and she's going to be 14 in a couple weeks here. So
she's not saying certified lover boy, certified pedophile. What? She's not saying that, is she?
No, I think she might be, and she knows that that's wrong to be that. So
it is wrong to be that. That's accurate.
Indeed, yes.
Wow,
exactly.
Drake is getting destroyed. I didn't realize kids were saying this.
Oh yeah.
And then everybody.
it was the biggest song of the year.
And then everybody's yelling.
There it is. There you have it. Okay. What a start to Jason Wilde on Sunday Karma. Very well done. Very well done. Let's start here, Jason. Great piece by you, channel3000.com this morning about the idea of the Packers adding some 30-somethings to the roster, add some veteran presence to this roster to become championship good. Even better, in this piece, in one single paragraph, you use the word unambiguous, edict, aftermath, whom, amongst some other words, calculus, all in that same paragraph. Well written by you.
for that kind of praise to come from the former sports editor of the Denmark News Post Register Sentinel.
You had it right. It was the Denmark
Bugle.
News, yes.
It's truly an honor. Yeah, it's forget about the writing and let's talk about the subject matter as opposed to the brilliant wordsmithing that's going on there, because this is the biggest question that I have, because it also covers a number of guys that, in my opinion anyway, make sense for the Packers, right? I mean, I still, despite some reports out there, I know NFL Network had one as well, that the Packers are one of 3 teams that have been pursuing DK Metcalf.
Yep.
Now, I would also be curious if the trade of Geno Smith actually changes the calculus there, and if they're going to sign Sam Darnold to be their quarterback, if you might want to still have DK Metcalf on your team to help your new quarterback be productive. But, that's great. He's 27. He runs like the wind. He's never had fewer than 900 yards in a season. He's never played fewer than 15 games in a season. So I like a lot of what DK Metcalf brings to the table. What I don't like is $30 million a year and giving up draft assets when Devontae Adams can be a shorter term but still extremely effective player for a lower price and for no trade assets. The problem is he's 32 years old. He'll be 33 on Christmas Eve. And so is Goody willing, if he's going to make this grand pronouncement from the mountaintop, that we need to ramp up our sense of urgency and that I think it's time for this team to start competing for championships? I think they're ready. If you're going to say that, then what are you prepared to do? And are you prepared to go against your normal modus operandi? I mean, spoiler alert.
Huh?
Spoiler
Hold on.
alert.
What'd you just say?
Modus operandi. The MO. Your MO.
That's what MO stands for?
Oh, I thought it was main objective or something.
I thought it was main objective as well.
That might be the translation from whatever that is, Latin or whatever. Anyway, but again, I don't want to be sounding like Mr. Dictionary here. I want to get – my point is that is Goody willing to do something different? Because if you're going to make that type of a grand pronouncement, which, again, that was the, and I don't mean this as a humble brag, because the point is it's about the answer, not the question. But the question, we got to the end of his presser on January 16th after the season ended, and it was all about potential and the good things that had happened. And I was like, we talked a lot about a lot of good things, Goody, but like, what were you disappointed with this season? Like, you guys lost your last 3 games, and that was what led to his quote about the urgency. And I think when you make a statement like that, which he clearly knew what he was doing when he said it, then everyone has to feel that urgency, and everyone has to look at themselves and say, what am I doing, and what more can I do to get us to a Super Bowl? And if I'm Goody, I would hope that my self-examination is to say, you know what, maybe having only one guy who celebrated his 30th birthday on our roster, maybe that's a little too extreme. Maybe having 3 or 4 of those guys, so we're still one of the youngest teams in the league, but not the youngest every year. And maybe having guys that have, the example I use in the story is if you have some sort of veteran offensive lineman, and Andre Dillard was kind of that guy, sort of, but what he was more of was a reclamation project for a disappointing first-round pick, right? It wasn't like he was an established guy who had played at a high level and was approaching the end of his career. So my point is that you go into Philly, you lose Elton Jenkins after 4 snaps, and you're cooked, right? I mean, let's be honest. Their next 2 options that they went with were nowhere near good enough to help them win a playoff game in Travis Glover, who had played 13 snaps all season, and Kadeem Telford, who'd played 23. And Chewy can tell you the story of Bruce Wilkerson saving their season, coming in and playing left tackle for a Super Bowl team in '96. He was the quintessential journeyman at that point in his career. So I'm just really curious to see is Goody willing to do something out of his comfort zone And is that Trey Hendrickson? Is that Devontae Adams? Is it Kevin Zeitler? Is it Khalil Mack? Who could it be, or is it none of the above because they've all turned 30 and he has no interest in them?
Yeah, it's a fascinating idea, and I'm sure something that's going through the minds of everybody in the front office over the course of about the next 24 hours. Free agency, the legal negotiation period officially opens 24 hours, 17 minutes. From right now, 11 a.m. tomorrow is when we will start hearing of free agents and the contracts they will be signing. The DK Metcalf, and I know you mentioned that at the top, but the DK Metcalf package has changed a little bit, according to the Athletic's Diana Rossini. They want the package to now be centered around a second-round pick, and DK wants $30 million a year and to be in a warm climate. But I think if you're getting paid $30 million a year, you can go ahead and be okay living in Green Bay for 5 months out of the year. What do you think the best offer the Packers would give Seattle right now is? Is it something to the likes of like a third-round pick in Romeo Doubs? Is that too much? Where's your head at in terms of DK Metcalf as it stands right now, Jason?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, they could give him a dome and maybe some sort of like Uber service with really warm, the vehicle really warm.
Seat heaters.
Really? He wants to go to a warm climate? That's part of his, trade demand?
I think that's ridiculous, personally, but yeah, it is.
Ship him to Jacksonville, Jason. Carolina.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So he didn't – is it still to go to a contender or not really?
According to Rossini, the only thing she said today was a warm climate, $30 million are the things he would like. Now,
the money and the beach.
I think Jason would agree with me. If you give me $30 million, I'll happily live in Antarctica 5 months a year. So I think DK Metcalf would be okay in Green Bay.
Yeah, but so, again, my question, I'm always curious about where this stuff comes from. My next question is does that come from him directly? Does that come from his agent? Does that come from Schneider telling Rossini, oh, dude, you're not going to believe this. He wants $30 million. He wants to be traded to a warm weather climate. Because here's the thing. If I'm the Packers and I hear that, I don't mean to be whatever, but those two things turn me off. The first thing I want to hear from a guy that I might be trading for is I want to go somewhere I can win a title.
Yep.
That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear I want to play somewhere where it's warm. So, I'll say this. Now, Devontae Adams, there's talk about him wanting to stay on the West Coast. I mean, he went to New York for crying out loud with Rodgers. So he knew he had to, extricate himself from the train wreck that was the Las Vegas Raiders, and then he just went on an even more dangerous, rickety old train that went off the rails. But, I know this about Devontae. He's never been to a Super Bowl. And, yes, he'd like to have more money, and, yes, he'd like to have lots of targets and be productive, but I don't think he cares about the weather nearly as much as he cares about the fact that I want to win a Super Bowl, and that's going to increase the likelihood of me getting a gold jacket. And so, again, I would, if I'm a general manager, whether your name's Brian Gutekunst or Kyle Strofe, because I combine the two of you there, clever of me. The biggest, if I'm going to make an investment like that, I want to feel really good about every aspect of it. And that, to me, is a bit of a turnoff. Again, I don't know if Goody will see it that way. I don't know if that's just posturing and he's going to kind of roll his eyes. But you're starting to stack up things that, for me anyway, would be either red flags or just deterrents to wanting him to be a guy that I trade for. That kind of a demand, the financial demand,
sure,
the cost of giving up the draft pick when you already know that you don't have enough for yourself, in your opinion, and then on top of everything else, what it does to your wide receiver room.
Here's the thing that I struggle with, Jason, because I hear you, right? To me, this would be okay. Well, clearly he's not interested in the same thing I'm interested in. Me being Brian Gutekunst, which is winning a championship. Mm-hmm. I'll just go get a guy like Devontae Adams. The thing I struggle with, though, is to a point, the fact that the Packers are even in on these conversations. While you can legally sign Devontae Adams yesterday, given the fact he was released, it almost makes me think maybe the Packers aren't as interested in Devontae Adams as maybe all of us thought they were.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't want to say bullied.
I bullied. I've said it on the air. I bullied you.
into
Nobody
texting
wants
duty.
to. Jason, I'm sorry. Let me defend you real quick. Nobody wants somebody to say they bullied them.
I mean, I don't
Especially
think
a grown man.
maybe I
He wasn't
pushed.
bullied.
Did I push him?
Encouraged or something like
Pressured.
that. Yeah.
Pressured might be the word. Yeah,
Bullied has a
bullied's
negative
probably
connotation.
bullied's
especially-
probably strong.
Especially coming from somebody that looks like you.
Well, I didn't shove him in a locker and shake
runs
him down
like
for
you.
his lunch money.
Right.
I just said, hey, I think it would be beneficial for all of us if you were to reach out to Brian Gutekunst, and you did, and he didn't respond. So
turned out to be beneficial to none of us. But my point is that like that's why I sent him that text, not just because you bullied me, but because like I don't want to be, the guy that, hey, what's that on your shirt? Boop, and I don't want to do that to fans of, get them all excited about Devontae Adams. I mean, I reported what I reported, that he was open to a reunion. I would argue that word open was probably chosen just to make sure that you're not, putting all your eggs in that basket, and saying something like, that's my number one destination. I think that might be the case for him. I really do. But again, I don't know that. And he has not told me that.
How much would you pay him, Jason?
20.
That's it. You wouldn't go to like 22.
I mean,
24?
How much do I have to? I guess here's my thing. I'm not going to have to pay him 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I structure the contract correctly, and he continues to play well, like if I do a 3-year deal and I guarantee, let's say I guarantee 30, okay, and it's spread over 3 years, and he's got reasonable base salaries. If the bottom falls out, I can get out of it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it will, personally, when I look at him and where he's at. I'm not saying he's going to play till he's 40 like Jerry Rice, but I mean, this is what has happened to us in Green Bay, Wisconsin, because of the mentality of this general manager, which again, as I write in the story, like he believes that the NFL is a young man's game. And he's right. I agree with him on that premise. I say it right in the Channel 3000 story. The issue is it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. And my point is that we have been convinced that 32 is old and on the verge of being washed. Reggie White was 31 when the Packers acquired him.
Yeah. Yeah, he
31.
was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, hold on, Jason. Hold on.
Oh, baby. Now this is some breaking news.
I don't know what it is with me being on the air. Because earlier in the week I said, you can go ahead and cross Max Crosby off the list. You can now officially cross Myles Garrett off the list. The Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett have agreed to a $40 million per year extension, including $123.5 million in guaranteed money. That makes Myles Garrett the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter Myles Garrett will not be a Green Bay Packer. Jason, I don't know that we expected Myles Garrett to be a Packer, but this is quite a tune change from what we heard earlier in the week, that Myles Garrett and Jimmy Haslam couldn't even get a meeting on the calendar.
Not only that, according to Adam, it also includes a no-trade clause. Which is literally the opposite of what we have been talking about with him for weeks. Well, I guess wanting to play for a contender and wanting to win a Super Bowl can be changed when you get $40 million a year and $123 million guaranteed.
Maybe that's the same for DK Metcalf, who wants 30, right? I mean, when you make
talk,
right?
Money does. Okay, interesting news out of Cleveland.
The Packers were let's be honest. The Packers were never trading.
Agreed. Totally agree. It was too much.
I mean, think about how much they just paid him, and how much they're still on the hook for Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Like, Brown's gonna Brown.
Brown's gonna Browns indeed. Just have generational talent after generational talent, but it never equals wins, right? Think about our guy Joe Thomas. Think about Myles Garrett. I mean, yikes. All right, we got to take a break here on Sunday Cover. When we come back, we'll continue to react. Myles Garrett officially signed in Cleveland. There is still one elite pass rusher on the market. Could the Packers make a run at the Bengals' Trey Hendrickson following him leading the league in sacks? We'll get into that coming up next. Alex Strofe, Jason Wilde, Kyle Wallace with you. It's Sunday Karma right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and Roll for Riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but they didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not recorded properly or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit neilgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This three-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota. Iota.
Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch.
What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Thanalysis Live, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Thanalysis Show on Twitter for full event details or to buy tickets. Don't miss out on this unique live event.
I see dead people. Hey, Monster on the beat, Bebo, any rap. He a free throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him free, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabronis?
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If you're going to dance back there, put yourself on the video stream, would you? Sunday Karma. Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace with you, hanging out for just a few more minutes with our buddy Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch weekdays from 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. You have little rhythm.
You better not ever go to cell block.
And that should be a big insult coming
First
from
and
me.
foremost, I got rhythm. You just don't understand I'm moving to the beat.
All
right, that's enough of that. We bring back in Jason Wilde now, three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, off the heels of a massive contract extension for Myles Garrett out in Cleveland. He will not be traded to the Green Bay Packers. I am surprised by this, to be real honest with you. We got a report Friday that Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, wouldn't even meet with Myles Garrett. And 48 hours later, we've got the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history deal for Myles Garrett, which is deserved by all means. I mean, he is a phenomenal talent. But things change fast in the National Football League. That is for damn sure.
Well, he's 29 years old, though. So, the Packers probably weren't all that interested in him, even if he had been available. By the way, nice work, DJ Jazzy Kyle. I enjoyed that. Although Sid somewhere is probably singing, Dad Not Like Us. Dad Not Like Us.
Oh, I like that. I hope they both sing that.
Yeah.
To get under your skin.
Yeah, that'd be fair. It'd be fair criticism. Look, I'm fascinated by, and Goody talked about this at the scouting combine a little bit. He doesn't believe in giving agents the freedom to seek trades for their players. And he acknowledged that, well, guess what? It probably still happens anyway. But, I think it's interesting that Andrew Berry's approach in Cleveland was no. I saw a story from somebody that, people tried to talk to him, other teams, GMs tried to talk to him at the scouting combine. And, I don't know if he, just literally walked away or shushed them or put his hands over his ears and said, la, 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 I am not listening. Whatever he did, he was not having any of it. And whether or not this ultimately leads to success for the Browns, none of us know, including Myles Garrett or Andrew Berry. But I think it's fascinating that he is now off the market. And Goody's point was that a lot of times trade demands are leverage plays to get more money and stay where you are. There's something to be said for comfort and being happy in a place, and you just want more money, and that's all it takes to make the trade demand go away. I mean, let's not forget, Brett Favre denies it to this day, but I know this for a fact from multiple people. He did demand a trade. Now, you can say that Bus Cook actually made the demand, or you can say that he said it in the heat of frustration. You can say whatever you want about why it happened, but he did. In 2007, he was really, really angry when they didn't acquire Randy Moss, and then they talked him off the ledge. And so the idea that that players do this for whatever reason, it's not uncommon. But I'm blown away by that number. I don't know if that means the owner has to be in on that conversation, right? He may not have talked to Myles Garrett one-on-one, but he had to have been willing to sign off on a number that big.
Yeah, you're right about that. And we've got a Jimmy Haslam battle at Five Star Forum today. The Milwaukee Bucks, who Jimmy Haslam, of course, the owner of,
are playing the Browns.
They're taking it on the Cleveland Cavaliers, so his other city. But no, Bucks Browns. That would be Myles Garrett can hoop though. I mean, let's keep that in mind. There was that video a couple of years ago of him doing windmill dunks, so he can hoop.
So can Devontae Adams.
That's true.
Comes back to Devontae.
Didn't they make him stop playing basketball though? Didn't Goody ask him to stop playing basketball, or am I misremembering?
It might be true. No, it might be true. I just know that he had speaking of windmill dunks, he had some ridiculous dunk that went viral, some random guy at the Y or the workout facility he was at in the off season filmed him doing it, and it went viral. Back when that was an unusual thing to have happen, something go viral. Now everything goes viral. Yeah. Now Packers tight ends are posting random radio hosts doing 3-cone drills, saying that should dictate their salary. That happened over the weekend. Wait, what?
Tucker Kraft put the video of my 3-cone drill on his Instagram story on Friday with a tweet embedded in the video that said sports analysts should have to do this every year to dictate their salary.
Tucker?
Yeah, not great.
Come on.
Are you scared,
Tucker?
Jason?
No. I mean,
scared I'm coming for that salary?
No, I'm not concerned. I feel like if we use that as a metric we better add some other things beyond the 3-cone drill because I don't think I'd be significantly better than Strofe. I just would look better than Strofe. We might not
a high
have
bar.
at the same time,
Yeah.
but it would look a little slightly more athletic. But
Yeah.
here's the thing about Tucker Kraft. I enjoy him. I enjoy our back and forths. He's an interesting dude, but I'll say this: if he's putting you on his Instagram, then I look forward to training camp and introducing you to him. You should come up and do a show.
Yeah,
and we can hash it out, and he can be a weekly guest on Mr. Irrelevant, make the show more relevant.
There we go. I like that idea. All right, last thing for you, Jason, before we go, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. So I mentioned less than 24 hours now. 23 hours, 57 minutes is the official opening of the legal negotiation period on NFL free agency. If the Packers are to address a position tomorrow, your best guess is what?
Well, I don't like being put on the spot, and usually I just ignore those types of instructions, as opposed to your bullying to text the Packers general manager. I still think it's corner.
I agree.
For whatever reason. Goody has, and whether he's just lying or kind of being deceptive, not lying flat out, but he said really nice things about the defensive line. He said really nice things about his wide receiver room. Now, I would argue that given the uncertainty with Dobbs, which I'm not saying that his concussions are like career-threatening. I'm not saying that. But like with his behavior last year, his inconsistent production, the concussions, everything else, and then with Watson's injury, I do think that needs to be addressed. But he has been very complimentary of that group. He's been very complimentary of the defensive line. I've heard him be complimentary of Keyshawn Nixon and what he accomplished, but I have a hard time, and I am a Keyshawn guy. Like he's one of in the newly reconstituted locker room where there's so many young guys. He's one of my guys, and I did a piece on his mom's battle with breast cancer, and so he and I have a pretty good connection. And I love his confidence. Like I wish I could be as confident as him.
Yeah, right.
But there's part of me that looks at him and wonders if he's your number one corner, are you good enough? Like if he's your number two corner, I think you are good enough. But if he's supposed to be the lockdown, shutdown guy, because he's had some moments where he looks like that, and then he's had some moments where he hasn't been quite as good.
Jason, you ain't got to sugarcoat it. We know he's not a number one corner, and that's okay. He's a good player.
But look, here's the thing: if somebody, I don't want to sound like Costanza and say it's not a lie if you believe it, but if he has that level of confidence, I think let's not put anything past him. Is what I'm saying. I mean, look at his track record.
Receivers.
He was a nobody in Vegas. I mean, they didn't play him anywhere. He gets here, they finally realize, hey, this guy's got some return ability, and he ends up being an all-pro kick returner. The next year, they say, you know what? This guy can play from scrimmage. We're going to play him at slot corner. Turns out to be a pretty darn good slot corner. Year 3, Jeff Hafley comes in and says, you know what? This guy's more than just a return guy in a slot corner. This guy could be an outside corner and full-time. And unlike Jair Alexander, the guy stays on the field, right? So I think, someone like Keyshawn Nixon deserves at least a little benefit of the doubt. That said, trust but verify, right? Like you can say, we think he can be our one, but we're also going to draft a guy high and hope he develops. And then we got 2 number ones, right? But if that's the one position that I feel like they are perilously thin.
I'm completely with you. I think corner it's the one I can't quite figure out, though, because to your point, I like the pieces. I like Keyshawn Nixon. I like Carrington Valentine. If you enter a season with Carrington Valentine as your 3rd or 4th best corner, that's a really good room. And so if they are to, let's say, sign a guy who can plug in and play, maybe not a top-end guy like Ward or Reed, but a decent enough corner where he's in the mix, and then they draft one, say, in the 1st or 2nd round, assuming they don't give up that 2nd-round pick for DK Metcalf, I think that position is it doesn't need to be rebuilt quite like safety did last offseason, but it is the closest on the roster to a complete reinvention like they had to do with safety last offseason. So how do they approach this one?
And they don't have the picks to do what they did at safety.
That's a good point.
Veteran free agent and 3 draft picks on it. So, look, again, if your starting 5 in your nickel is Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney, Javon Bullard in the slot, and Valentine and Nixon on the outside, I think that's a decent group.
I agree.
I don't think it's a great group, but I think it's a good group.
Yeah.
The problem is that you're not going to go all 17 games with all those guys staying healthy. You're just not.
You're not.
I think Keyshawn missed 1 game maybe, or maybe none, but Valentine missed time, Bullard missed time, Evan Williams missed time. So you can't say, oh, we're set there. We got our 5.
Right.
They need a lot more than that.
No, I'm totally with you. Jason Wilde, I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll be listening to you tomorrow, 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch. And then you're going to join us 12:15 to 12:45 on the free agency special edition of Mr. Irrelevant. Thanks for doing it and looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow amidst all the chaos.
All right, fellas. Take care. Be good. Mustard!
Jason Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on
you're
ESPN
running the
Wisconsin.
clock like Craig now, huh?
I'm only a few minutes late.
Phew, it's 11:08.
We're back after this on Sunday Karma.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. The tax time sale is going on now, and they'll make your wallet even happier by paying no interest until 2030. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Champs Americana in Brookfield, the Sandlots of Salem in Salem Lakes, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Magoo's on the Mound in Milwaukee, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill in Pewaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand-select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top-quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Wake up, filthy.
Yeah. We ain't even out in Turks, she finna take sand. Riding around with F and then we like to hold hands. Boat was 2 sipped out, he ain't need a bed. Then I did the pint of tech in a cold red. If I tell it to pull her, she gon' moped it.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunday Karma with you. Alex Drove, Kyle Wallace hanging out with you on this Sunday morning. Thanks to Jason Wilde for breaking down all things green and gold with us. Free agency opens tomorrow, and boy, am I excited. You get the Myles Garrett news just moments ago. He is staying put in Cleveland, the highest paid non-quarterback contract in NFL history. Not completely shocking, and a man who has said the entire time, Myles Garrett is going nowhere, is Gabe Neitzel of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, who joins us now in the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio. You can hear Gabe tonight, 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison. Filling in on the Bucks Radio Network on Play-by-Play. What's up, Gabriel? How are you?
What's going on, boys?
Well, Myles Garrett is going on. That is
$40 million a year, 123 guaranteed.
Not bad. DK Metcalf's asking for 30.
Yeah, I mean, look, the cap went up by $10 million kind of unexpectedly, like more than everybody was projecting. And the cap's gone up $100 million since 2021. Just a little under, but basically $100 million since 2021. We have to get used to these outrageous and outlandish numbers because, well, the money's got to go somewhere.
You in on DK?
Now that they're kind of down on their price, which we all kind of knew was going to happen, right? Like he wasn't going to get a first. They weren't going to get a first and a third. Now that they're down to a second round pick, yeah, I would be in for a second round pick.
Okay, I think
I'm fine with paying him 28 or 30, whatever it is.
Yeah, but that comes with the understanding of you're probably not bringing back Watson or Dobbs then, right? Like after this year.
Well, I don't think I would want to bring back Dobbs anyway.
I wouldn't either.
It's kind of a flip, coin flip if you want to bring back Watson. It all depends upon how he recovers from his ACL, and maybe it's because, the Packers have had some knees that have kind of, tripped him up over the last handful of years.
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical that he's going to be what he was even before, and he had his limitations before. Like, at the very least, the knee injury for Christian Watson's going to stunt the growth. Like, at the very least. And who knows what he's going to be worth in free agency when he hits that next year.
Well, the other part of that, too, is pretty similar skill set to Watson, at least like vertical threat.
Yeah, but he can also do more than what Christian Watson can do.
He's a better receiver,
I mean, Christian Watson, that's what I want Christian Watson to be when he grows up. The problem is DK Metcalf is also like a specimen. Like, the dude is just solid. He's a stud, plays 15 games every single year.
He's a little more reliable, a little bit more, less, built more durable.
Exactly. Yes. Like, the dude is just, he's a unit.
Got to be careful what I say because, his dad.
Yeah, his dad gets after you.
Quite a bit. What, Christian Watson's dad?
Yeah.
So me and Kyle have realized we now have beefs with multiple Packers. He's gotten into it on Twitter with Christian Watson's father. Tucker Kraft posted me on a story over the weekend saying that sports.
I heard that.
Yeah, so.
Tucker wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Tucker, you've got a beef with Tucker. He's just got a beef with a guy's dad.
Yeah, I ain't got beef with him.
Well, and Christian Watson's brother came at you at one
they
point.
Tried to double team me, you know what I'm saying? I took it like a man.
Wait, what did you say that was so wrong about Christian?
Bruce.
You remember during the summer, during the practice when he went down, and everybody got on the knee, and everybody was all like,
Turned out it was just a bruise.
It was a bone bruise.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is a little dramatic. This is a lot.
Well, I mean,
it probably hurt, but we canceled. We ended practice.
Yeah, that's right. Like, everybody's down. When everybody goes down on a knee, like that, it seems like it should be serious. So, like, while I was thankful that it wasn't more serious, especially because, Chewy talks about that all the time. Like, he talks about it all the time from a former player's perspective. Like, if the cart comes out for you and then you're playing the next week, your teammates are going to give it to you.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm just not a teammate. And so his parents and his brother didn't appreciate that. That's okay, though. We cool now.
I mean, this is also the same guy that, like, on one hit, had like 5 different injuries and somehow played the next week. Like, learning to play with those little nicks and dings is part of the NFL, and unfortunately for him, it's something that he hadn't quite figured out. Now, this one, obviously, a big one.
Yes, this one's a little bit different.
This one is devastating because he was definitely, for me, I feel like, he didn't have the year I wanted him to have.
Right.
But I did see improvement.
It felt like if any of those receivers improved, it was him.
Post-bye, he was playing his best football. Like, there was one catch he had where he made a great adjustment on the sideline, where he thought it was going to be maybe toward the middle of the field, but had to kind of turn to get his shoulders more facing the sideline, made a great adjustment, which is something that we had criticized a lot. Him making adjustments with the ball in the air. When he made that catch, okay. This guy's starting to grow, and unfortunately then had the knee injury. And I do wonder if that ultimately spells the end for him in Green Bay.
We're going to do my own version of the 7 at 11 coming up next. I have 7 quick-hitting topics for Gabe and Kyle coming up next that we are going to rifle through. There will be some basketball. There will be some Packers-related stuff. There will be non-sports-related stuff in our my own version of 7 at 11, which is coming up next right here on Sunday Karma.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Fingers come in different sizes,
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler,
and a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
The Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
we're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our ring size registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size,
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
all they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Game time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Dom's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
At the Knickerbocker Hotel, we believe your stay should be as convenient and luxurious as possible. Whether you're planning a small meeting or a special event, our versatile space is perfect for any occasion. Start your day with a delicious meal at the Nick Restaurant and Bar, or unwind at the Nick Salon and Spa. Wanting to stay active? Their 24-hour fitness center is always available. If you need something custom made or alterations made, there's a tailor on site. The Knickerbocker, where every detail is designed with your comfort in mind. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Pipe down, throwing up shots. First we shut them down, then we open up shop. Willis around just in case y'all forgot. They've been trying to stop.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Never told, even through the ups and downs, baby. And if I do say it's a couple brown, baby. Only way I double.
Yeah, Sunday Karma with you on a Sunday morning. Alex Sturff, Kyle Wallace. Ain't nobody, Gabe Neitzel is here. The highlight of I told my girlfriend this last night. The highlight of my career was yesterday when I received a text message that said, "Would you take a day off?" from a man that literally doesn't take a day off, and Gabe Neitzel.
I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going to Vegas?
Going to Vegas tomorrow, yeah.
Are you a gambler, or is this a golfing
This
trip?
is a golf thing.
Okay.
The Wisconsin PGA does an event out there, so I'm going out with my guys from X Golf.
Oh, Wisconsin PGA, aren't you fancy?
No, not really. Like I'm an amateur. It's a pro-am. You take one of the club professionals. So my buddy Andy, who's the pro at X Golf AmFam Field, we've had him on the show before. He's my pro. We've got 4 amateurs just playing golf. For
When you
3
say
days.
amateur, does that mean like do you play in like a league?
No, I'm just an amateur golfer.
What does that mean?
I don't get paid to play golf. I'm non-professional.
Oh, so I'm an amateur golfer too.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, you also are. Yes, that's accurate.
Yeah.
I thought that was more significant, right?
Nope.
Oh well, there's
no.
amateur.
There is no bigger meaning behind the word amateur. It's just I'm not professional.
I just thought that because a lot of times when young people got on the Tiger Woods hat. I mean, when he was an amateur, right, coming up.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, oh, he's a significant one. I didn't realize anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Me and Tiger on the same level at some point.
Well,
not
yeah,
skill wise.
He was the best amateur. But yes, you were both amateurs. Yes.
Okay, look at that.
I don't know where you were on the ranking. He was just number one.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. 7 and 11. You didn't say that on the air, did you?
I didn't know.
Okay, good. 7 and 11. I have 7 questions written out. I have no particular order I want to go in, but I just want to rapid fire through some questions with you. Kyle, pick a number 1 to 7.
Oh, let's go with lucky number 4 for Brett Favre.
All right, daylight savings today. Yes or no on daylight savings?
No, because I am an early riser, and the fact that I was finally starting to get a little bit of sunlight as I'm driving in to do the morning show, and now that's just gone for the next month and a half, it just makes me a little sad.
That's fair. Kyle, yes or no on daylight savings?
I'm a big traditionalist, right? I like it. The farmers may not need it anymore, but I like telling the story of the history of why we had daylight savings time. And I like a little switch up, a little change up in my life, a little change up in a time. Springing forward or falling back. It just makes life interesting.
I feel like we are the wrong group to be talking about this because I feel
we're not farmers.
People who have kids, especially small children, it's just tough. They fall into a routine, and it's just tough to get them out of that sleep routine. And the fall or the spring, it's just tough to deal with.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I can't imagine. Yeah,
bringing them to school in the dark—that's no fun.
Yeah,
I hear you. All right, let's go to let's stick non-sports. So when I moved to southeastern Wisconsin,
no number.
This is number 2 on my list.
Oh, okay, you're not going to ask Gabe what number he wants?
We'll get back to that.
Generous to our guests?
We'll get back to that. I just want to hit the other non-sports thing, then we'll go back to sports. So when I moved to southeast Wisconsin about a year ago, I am an avid fish fry lover, right? So probably 2 to 3 Fridays a month, I'm going to get a fish fry. I went to get one on Friday.
Ain't no way.
I would.
Frame.
What's that?
It's not putting enough meat on your
Shut
bone.
up, Kyle. So
it's fish. It's healthy.
I was introduced to the idea of potato pancakes.
Yeah,
yeah.
That is the traditional way to have a fish fry.
What do you introduce? Introduce when?
When I moved to Milwaukee.
Oh, man.
So I've lived all over the state. I've lived in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in Stevens Point. I've lived in Madison. I've gotten many, many fish fries in all of the cities. Never have I ever had potato pancakes listed as an option for me.
So you didn't actually have a fish fry until you moved to Milwaukee.
So here's the thing. Real. When I moved to Milwaukee, I was introduced to this on Friday. I had a fish fry, potato pancakes with applesauce, and you put the applesauce on the potato pancakes.
That's correct.
This is the normal way to eat fish fries?
Yeah, that's the traditional fish fry. The potato pancake is the traditional.
So you grew up in southwest Wisconsin? In Horicon?
No, because Horicon's only an hour north of here.
Oh, it's north.
Just a hair west.
Yeah, that tells you I know nothing about Horicon.
Right up 41, right?
Yeah, just right up 41.
So isn't it
on
Fond du Lac?
33 and just south of Fond du Lac. Yeah.
Okay.
About a half hour, 40 minutes south of Fond du Lac.
Potato pancakes there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, potato pancakes.
Yeah.
And you grew up with potato pancakes?
Making potato pancakes, pretend that it's the weekend. You get it or no? No, Jack Johnson, banana pancakes.
Yeah, banana pancakes.
Potato pancakes, yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're delicious. Delicious. And I love me a good fish fry.
That is the preferred way. If you do not have potato pancakes for your fish fry, I am judging your fish fry.
Oh, wow. See, I don't go that far because it's about the fish for me. I'm an all-you-can-eat guy, but, right now I'm losing some weight, so I can't indulge the way I used to.
Yeah, interesting.
And by the way, perch is the best fish fry.
Really?
Perch is the way to go.
So here, I can't do perch
on Friday.
You know why I can't do perch?
Why not?
I can only do cod because when I was in middle school,
What about haddock?
I can do that. But when I was a kid, we dissected a perch fish. And you dissect it, you see all those eggs inside. Never forget this girl, Destiny Johnson, now a doctor or got her doctorate. And I just remember she was just digging her
Dr.
hands.
Johnson.
Dr.
Johnson.
Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson was digging her hands all in there, and I think the fish had eggs in it. And I'm like, what is this? The perch? I said, nope. I'm never eating it. Never eating it.
I can understand why that would scar you.
Some more cod,
I get it. I get that. That makes sense.
All right, let me delete these 2 questions. Pick a number 1 through 5, Gabriel.
We'll go with number 3.
DK or Devontae?
I think I want Devontae.
All right.
I think I would lean more towards Devontae just because the more I reflect on the free agent class, it just doesn't blow me away. And I don't know if you're going to be able to solve all your problems with a free agent or two. So I think while I would look, if they spend a second-round pick on DK Metcalf, will I be excited?
Yes.
Of course I will.
Of course you will.
I will show up back on the show on Friday, super excited. But I think at this point, if I had the preference, I would rather have Devontae be kind of this 1-2 year stopgap, try to see if you can continue to develop the guys that you have that would be ready to take over for him, backfill the position with a second or third round pick at wide receiver, and keep going from there. The Packers have some holes, and I think I would prefer to have your first, second, and third round pick if possible. But look, you got to give up something if you're going to get a player like DK Metcalf.
I think it's unanimous, right? Kyle, you said earlier you're in on Devontae. I'm obviously in on Devontae. It's a unanimous across the panel here.
Yeah, it is unanimous. Ooh, almost messed up there. Because of the fact that I just simply like something that I know, right? Like, we understand what Devontae can bring. He's still a very talented wide receiver, and less of that long-term commitment and less of a financial commitment where you will have to make a decision on Jaden Reed coming up in a couple years. It'll be nice to be able to still have some money freed up versus trying to pay a guy $30 million at receiver in DK. And, who knows? Jaden might command $25 to $30 million himself a couple years from now. As Gabe talked about, the free agency, the salary cap continues to go up, so that might be normal for receivers about 2 years from now.
The NFL keeps inventing days and streaming services to put games, so yeah, that cap number going to continue to climb.
Have they played on every day? Because I feel like they played a game on a Tuesday one time because it was a makeup game.
Oh yeah, they've played on every. Within the last 2 years, they've played on every. Because Christmas was on a Tuesday a couple of years ago. Obviously, Christmas on a Wednesday this year. So within the last 2 years, they have played on every day of the week.
Yeah,
crazy.
Times we live in. Kyle, number 1 through 4.
Go ahead. Let's go through number 1.
This is going to be a long conversation. Aside from draft picks, do you believe the Packers may run back to the wide receiver position? I just asked you DK or Devontae. Is there a point where maybe the answer is neither, and they draft a receiver, and your top 3 entering week 1 are Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and Romeo Doubs?
I say no. No matter what, I think they're going to add at that position. Now, maybe you add somebody to the ilk, and we've banned the name Sammy Watkins on our show on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy because Chewy brings it up so much. But maybe you add somebody like that who just doesn't, where he shows up. What I'm just saying, like, if you add somebody
like that, give me Devin Funches instead of that. Even Devin never played.
Yeah, the pandemic didn't help.
Yeah. So, but if you add somebody that you think might be able to help, but isn't quite ready from their injury. Somebody like Chris Godwin. Like, I have no idea what he's going to look post-ankle injury. Really good before. Seemed like a really tough ankle injury that he suffered halfway through. Who knows when he's going to be ready?
Yep.
So maybe he doesn't contribute the way you think. And yes, the 3 that you have are your top 3 going into the regular season.
I'm kind of worried there might be a scenario in which a name like Josh Palmer of the Chargers ends up in Green Bay.
No, thank you.
Where it's like okay. That doesn't do much for me.
No, I think there's a very high chance they run it back, but I think the only difference is where Gabe's thinking about they may sign somebody. I'm thinking Goody's probably going to draft somebody early. If he strikes out and he misses on anything he's looking at in free agency on a high level, right? Like, we know that the Packers, or we don't officially know, but there's been rumors that the Packers have made a call about DK, right? And there's some, rumblings that the Packers may be open. We know, according to Jason Wilde, that Devontae Adams is open to coming back to Green Bay, right? But I do believe if they strike out and get nothing in free agency, I see them drafting a receiver probably in the second round again.
No matter what, I think they use a draft pick on a receiver in the first 2 days. No matter what, even if they add
first
somebody.
2 days.
Yeah, So rounds 1 through 3.
Not at least second day. First
2 days.
First round.
Potentially.
Wow.
If somebody's there. They have to continue to backfill that position. Again, Goody's talked about it a lot, where it's not just, hey, I'm worried about 2025. I got to be looking at 2026 and beyond as well. And we just mentioned it with Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. Who knows if you're going to be re-signing those guys, which just leaves you with the 2 guys who are also going to be up for then contract extensions or going to be free agents past 2026. You got to start backfilling that position the way that Ted Thompson used to, and I think they start doing that this year. Can't just ignore that position. I think you've been able to ignore it for the most part the last couple of years because of what you did in getting Watson and Doubs in a draft, and then the following year with Reed and Wicks. But now we're at that point. You got to start backfilling that position with at least a high draft pick this upcoming year.
Last Packers one. Over under 0.5 free agency signings announced tomorrow.
I will go over.
I will also go over.
Deo Obinganyo. Ode Bingo. How do you say his name?
You have Potawatomi over there? What are you doing? You're just yelling out bingo? What's going on?
There's a rush defensive end, a rush.
Are you referring to the guy from the Colts?
Deo Obinganyo.
I don't think his name is Bingo.
It's
like you just yelled
bingo.
3 times.
It is now.
Bingo.
It is now.
No, listen.
If the Packers sign that guy, all I'm going to do is call him Bingo. In honor of Kyle.
Ode Yingbo. How about that? That's going to be the guy.
Ode Yingbo?
Yes, that's going to be the guy. That's going to be the guy. They're definitely the Packers have money to spend, and that's something we talked about before. When the Packers have had money to spend, they have spent it, right? They spent it in 2019. They saw him spend it last year, and now this year, Goody talked about a sense of urgency. So I do believe that he's going to have a sense of urgency tomorrow, and some name is going to be announced. So I'm excited for what's to come because I know the Packers are going to bring in reinforcements because Goody knows right now the window is open.
Regular season finales yesterday for both Marquette and the Badgers, and both Marquette and the Badgers lose in their regular season finales. The Badgers lose the double bye in the Big Ten tournament with the loss to Penn State. Marquette has had some tough sledding. Fun basketball game yesterday in the overtime loss to St. John's, but certainly not the result they were hoping for. Gabe, I'll start with you. Are you more concerned about Marquette or Wisconsin as we enter conference tournaments this week?
I guess I'm not super concerned about Marquette. And maybe it's just because I've kind of accepted who they are and what they could potentially do. Like if somebody gets hot from 3, which we saw the first couple of months, 2.5 months of the season, they could easily make it to a Sweet 16. If they shoot the ball, kind of the way they did, a couple of games ago where David Joplin's the only guy to make a 3, that could be an early exit. For them, I know what they are. I know what the answer is. It all comes down to three-point shooting, and they get open looks. Like they run good offense, they generate good looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down, and that's kind of been the issue for them. So with Wisconsin, I guess I'm maybe a little bit more concerned because look. Marquette lost to the best team in the Big East yesterday.
They sure did.
In overtime, in a game they could have very easily won. Shot very poorly from the free throw line. So if we're going especially just off yesterday, the loss by Wisconsin,
much worse.
Little more concerning. And now you also lose the double bye, so you're going to be a little bit more beat up if you make any sort of run in the Big Ten tournament going into the NCAAs. That's all not a good recipe for them.
Yeah, 2 bad losses for Wisconsin in the last 2 weeks. The loss to Oregon, I believe it was, at home, and now Penn State. 2 bad losses for Wisconsin. I'm not as concerned about them because I do still think their ceiling is Sweet 16. Marquette is the one where I was hoping yesterday they could win that ball game and get some type of momentum right to ship, beat a good team and get some confidence because like Gabe said, I think they're a very talented basketball team. They just have not been able to beat anybody that's good the last 2 months, Gabe.
I think you can still walk away from that game. I think that's one of those games as a coach, if you're Shaka. Yes, it's heartbreaking to lose, especially in overtime on senior day when you're honoring one of the greatest groups of seniors, one of the most accomplished groups of seniors that the university's ever seen. So that's disappointing and heartbreaking. But I think you can still walk away from yesterday's game with a lot of positives, losing in overtime on a fluke. Like, Chase Ross just happened to lose. Just got poked away on the rebound. Like, it's a fluky play, and that's how you lose. But, we just played with the number 6 team in the country.
Right. Who looks like the number 6 team in the country, by the way. They're good.
And you get out of the Big East, and you play some of that Shaka defense against some teams that aren't used to it. I would not be shocked if Marquette makes a run to the second weekend.
Kyle, ask that question again.
Did they really flip the bird?
Did you see this?
I did not, but I heard from multiple people in attendance that the bird was flipped by players from St. John's to the crowd. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Didn't see it on TV. We only saw Marquette fans flipping the bird.
Yeah, because they were flipping it back, which again you shouldn't do. Like let's call it a day. Let's keep the birds to ourselves. Everybody involved.
All right.
I'm not a fan of birds either.
Number 7 at the 7 and 11.
They are. They really are. They swoop down on you and then.
No, thank you.
You guys are idiots. Last one for you. The Milwaukee Bucks have quite a stretch, which starts tonight. Gabe Neitzel on the call on the Bucks Radio Network. You can hear him 100.5 ESPN in Madison, 620 WTMJ against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is their next 7 games. Home against Cleveland. At the Pacers, who are just 1 spot behind them in the standings. Home against the Lakers Thursday. Home against the Pacers next Saturday. Home against the Oklahoma City Thunder next Sunday. And then they go on a 5-game road trip, which includes at Golden State, at the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the next 7 games over the course of the next 11 days.
Oh, let's do it.
How important is this stretch to determine how good the Bucks truly are?
Oh, it's huge. And Look, those Pacer games are particularly big if they want to try to get home court advantage in that opening round. And look, if you play really well in this stretch, that 3 seed's not out of the realm of possibility because the Knicks are going to be without Jalen Brunson the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Now, disappointing to lose last night. Orlando did a really good job of taking the Bucks out of what they wanted to do and forced them into a lot of ISO situations. But the first 2 times this year, the Bucks played the Cavs. They played them really well, really tough. 1-point losses both times around. I think it starts getting hopefully Gary Trent Jr. back tonight, so you have a little bit more depth instead of just 8 guys that you basically played with last night. I'm really looking forward to this stretch because I think the Bucks are playing some really damn good basketball, and I think even if you just go 4-3 in this stretch, you feel good about it, kind of heading into the last month of the season.
Right there with you. And Jericho Sims making some great plays defensively yesterday. Kevin Porter Jr.
Baptized Jonathan Isaac.
Sure did. Kevin Porter Jr. has been awesome.
Isaac,
oh, boy.
Okay, so Jericho Sims. He's a big boy. He's got wide shoulders and he's 6'9".
And a big head of hair, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Do you see that guy coming towards you in a fast break? I think Jonathan Isaac did the right thing. Isaac was set. He was ready to take the charge and then saw Jericho Sims leave the earth and just leap into the air, and he's looking at him going, nope, and he just starts falling back before the contact. Nope, I want nothing to do with taking the contact from that man. Made a business decision on what was probably my favorite play last night, Jericho Sims getting a fast break dunk.
His only points of the game, but 3 blocks defensively off the bench in 13 minutes. Sneaky 40 minutes from Taurean Prince last night, who played well. 13 points for him.
The Magic have a lot of size, so his defense and size was kind of required last night.
This is an interesting game, though. Good comeback effort. Obviously, falls short. They lose 111 to 109 to the Magic.
I think, honestly, it could be a situation. Doc talked about it after the game about the team not having enough effort, especially through the first 3 quarters. And the Magic were desperate. They had lost 5 games in a row and probably played just a little bit harder than the Bucks did until the feverish comeback attempt. Maybe you're overlooking a little bit because you have that big matchup with the Cavs coming tonight. Which means one thing: you got to show up tonight.
Indeed.
And if they win tonight. And you go, okay, they went 1-on-1 on a back-to-back and won the game. I'd probably prefer them to win.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think they can make you forget about the Magic game last night very quickly if they come away with the win over the Cavs.
No doubt.
Tonight.
And as you mentioned, expected to get Gary Trent Jr. back tonight after that hyperextended knee. So that will be a nice piece for them off the bench tonight. Gabe, I'll let you save your voice. You were on the call tonight on the Bucks Radio Network. It is Bucks Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum tonight, a big one to start off this really important 7-game stretch. Thanks for popping on Sunday Karma, Gabriel.
Yeah, anytime, boys.
And enjoy your trip to Las Vegas. Swing them straight. Before we get to break, Kyle, tell us about our friends over at Gruber Law Offices.
Yeah, it's always one call, that's all, at Gruber Law Office. What I love about them, listen, I made one call, that's all, and they took great care of me. I'm telling you this right now. I had to go to physical therapy. They set me up with that. When it came to going back and forth with the insurance companies, they said, no. We're going to take care of this for you. And you see the billboards, you see them at games, you see how they are committed to the community, but how they are committed to community is the same way they are committed to you. See, they are people, right, who are helping families who are seriously injured in accidents. They stand up for you as a victim, and they let you focus on healing as a client while they focus on the legal aspect. And you know what I love about Gruber Law Office is the fact that there's no fee. There's no single penny that you have to spend until you win your case. So get with the winning team today that gets the results that truly speak for themselves with Gruber Law Offices by calling them at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666, or visit them at gruber-law.com, because you already know it's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices.
More Sunday Karma right after this.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything to update your home. Easily create your dream kitchen with Clearview Cabinetry. With so many styles to choose from, you'll be sure to find plenty of options that you'll love. Start your project today and save big on Clearview Cabinetry. Visit Menards.com to view our entire selection of Clearview cabinets today. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for many other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store.
Selling me her, but JJ got a barcode. Be broke, need job code. Used to use EBT to get seafood. Now Uber Eats when I want Kiku. She wanna hang, gotta let the gang.
ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
DJ Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe hanging out with you this Sunday morning. It's Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. We talked about it briefly last segment with Gabe Neitzel, who joined us. You can hear him tonight. Bucks Cavs on the Bema Bucks Radio Network, 100.5 ESPN Madison. You will hear it right here. And if you're in Milwaukee, 620 WTMJ, 103.3 FM as well. You can catch Gabe and Justin Garcia on the call. Huge one tonight for the Bucks, Cavs and Bucks. But I want to go to college basketball. We are 1 week away from Selection Sunday. I can't freaking wait, man. This is it's the best time of the year. Conference tournament time, which, as a fan, I don't want to say I enjoy this upcoming week more than the NCAA tournament because, duh. But this week is so fun because these teams that play one another in the conference tournaments, no matter it's the Big East tournament, the Big Ten tournament, etc., the SEC tournament, ACC, these teams know each other so well and all of their tendencies. You see upsets galore this week because this is the third time you're playing a conference opponent, likely. Now, I know we have bigger conferences, so not every team plays each other twice. But this is, everybody knows everybody and what they want to do and what they want to try to do. So you learn a lot. And you see a lot of upsets this upcoming week. But you saw two games yesterday for the Badgers against Penn State and for Marquette against St. John's, who's one of the best teams in the country. You saw bad losses. Now, for Marquette, not as bad as Wisconsin because you were in the game. You brought it to overtime, and really, Gabe Neitzel just called it kind of a fluky way to lose, which it was, right? Like, it was a missed shot by St. John's. The rebound flies around. St. John's gets a great look for an ultimate buzzer beater and a game winner at the end of the overtime period here at Fiserv Forum. But Marquette's been playing a little rough the last month or so. They've lost 6 of the last 10 games. And it seems like their offense has sputtered, at least as the last few months. Now, Cam Jones was terrific yesterday against St. John's. He was absolutely terrific on Senior Day. But been inconsistent, at least a tad inconsistent offensively. And for a guy that was certainly, if not near the top, was in the National Player of the Year conversation earlier this season, he hasn't played to that level, at least consistently, as of late. That's not to say he can't turn it on over the course of the next few weeks and lead Marquette back to the Sweet 16 for the second straight year. But you need him to do more offensively. And you need guys like David Joplin to be consistent for Marquette. They are still a team that is built to go far, but it is going to be tougher for them now. They lose again and will likely be looking at a 5 or 6 seed come next week in Selection Sunday unless they go on a great run in the Big East tournament.
They need to. They need to unless, like you're right? I think 5 seed is probably their ceiling unless they win the Big East tournament.
Then they might get a 4. I would agree.
But as Gabe said, though, is that hopefully this can give them some confidence. I actually think that it's like a dagger to the chest because you literally gave everything, right? You had Senior Day and you had a great senior class and you let it all hang out and you still lost that game. And so instead of getting confidence and saying, when we're locked in, we're focused, when we give it our all, we can compete with the best of them, you instead say we gave it everything we could and we still cannot win that basketball game. So at the end of the day, I'm more concerned about Marquette, but Wisconsin losing that game to Penn State yesterday. You know what? If they get hot, they shoot the 3 ball well, they'll be okay. They just got to put up points. And unfortunately yesterday they lost a bad game.
They did. And when you look at Wisconsin, it's a game they never should have lost to Penn State. Penn State's not good. They're not an NCAA tournament team.
You can't lose those games, especially at home. One thing on the road.
Now, you're without Max Klesmet still, who hopefully returns this week in the Big Ten tournament. But it should make a difference against a team like Penn State. Mm-hmm. And this is a team where, earlier in the season we go, whoa, they've reinvented themselves. And then the season continues. And we go, oh my God, the reinvention project is real for Wisconsin. Right? They're a 3-point shooting team. They're a fast break team. They're still good defensively, but they're scoring 80 points a night. Where did this come from? And Greg Gard, rightfully so, has gotten his way into the National Coach of the Year conversation. He might even win it. Right? Bruce Pearl, obviously, at Auburn has a really good case. He's got the best team in the country. But Greg Gard is in that conversation. I'm concerned for both of these teams. Now, this week could completely... I could come back next Sunday on Selection Sunday and change my tune. But, oof.
I mean, Sweet 16 is the ceiling for both.
I mean, but that felt like the floor at one point.
Oh, maybe to you, not to me.
This season. It felt like both of these teams had a good chance to be playing in the second weekend. We will see. Selection Sunday next week. We wrap up Sunday Karma coming up next with our Palermo's picks. We'll take a deeper look at Bucks Cavs coming up tonight at Fiserv Forum. That's next as we wrap up Sunday Karma.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Will Myles Garrett be in Green Bay next season?
You add a Myles Garrett without giving up a ton, all of a sudden now you start looking, well, then they got Edgerrin Cooper at the next level. Oh, and then they got Xavier McKinney at the next level. The Packers have an opportunity here to make the big splash, and I think they should go and do it.
Stay up to date on all your Packers off-season news with Wilde and Tausch. Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
Think ski season is over? Well, think again. Granite Peak's bringing you Wisconsin's longest ski season, going strong through April 6th. We're talking spring skiing at Wisconsin's largest resort with live music, fireworks, and endless snow across our incredible terrain. Make it a getaway in nearby Wausau, where comfortable lodging and family activities await. Why travel far when the best spring skiing is right here? Book your ski and stay packages today. Visit skigranitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, and they're very prompt, polite, and professional, it makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey Bucks fans, Josh DiMaggio here. Join me and Michelob Ultra this Thursday night at Champs Americana in Brookfield. I'll be at Champs watching the Bucks take on the Lakers starting at 6:30. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes and watch the game. Also, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Who's on 3rd, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Maddie's in New Berlin, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. See you Thursday at Champs in Brookfield for the game. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin, presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Can't go wrong with Palermo's Pizza. It's just Palermo's Pizza day, to be honest with you. Beautiful weather outside. Gonna take the dog on a nice long walk. Then I'm gonna pop in a Mambo Italiano I got in the freezer.
Mambo.
Very well done. Pick and save. Sendex. Metro Market. Get it. Palermo's Pizza. Connie's. Urban Pie. It's unbelievable. Can't go wrong.
I got a Screaming Sicilian in the freezer now.
And you're popping that in today, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Yeah. I've been looking at it for the perfect time.
I love a good Palermo's Pizza. So we're going to pop that in today. And tonight, it's Bucks Cavaliers. The best team in the Eastern Conference is in town to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Second night of a back-to-back as the Bucks fall to the Orlando Magic last night, 111-109. That game will be nationally televised, by the way, on ESPN. And if you're driving around, you got a radio, you want to listen to our buddy Gabe Neitzel and Justin Garcia, you can hear that 100.5 ESPN Madison and 620 WTMJ. The Bucks are on an incredible stretch, as we touched on a little bit earlier. Listen to this next 7 games for the Bucks. I mean, you are truly going to figure out what this team is made of. They host the Cavs. They go to Indiana on Tuesday. They return home for a 3-game home stretch Thursday and through next weekend. Lakers Thursday, Pacers Saturday, Thunder, the top team in the Western Conference, next Sunday at Fiserv Forum. Then they go to Golden State, and then they go to the Lakers. All between now and Tuesday, March 18th. You're going to find out what this team is made of. I think the Bucks win tonight, Kyle, on the second night of a back-to-back. To get Gary Trent Jr. back tonight, they've played the Cavs really tough this year, and the Cavs have been awesome.
They have been, and this is a different Bucks team, right? Like, I think the Bucks
post-trade deadline, yeah.
They figured it out. They have some pieces. I mean, you're talking about Jericho Sims, who basically, maybe we thought was going to be a bench guy, really wasn't playing too much with the Knicks, and now he's getting some decent minutes because of the fact that, small but decent minutes because of the fact that Bobby Portis is out. So it turned out to be a good trade.
Having the best player matters, and Giannis has had one of his best seasons ever. I don't want people to lose sight of how incredible he's been this year. 37 last night in the loss. Expect more of that tonight from the true MVP candidate that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Sunday morning. Always a joy to wake up on a Sunday and do this show. We're back with you next week on Selection Sunday. Plenty of offseason headlines coming this week in the NFL. Free agency opens tomorrow, so make sure you're locked with us here on ESPN Wisconsin. Mr. Relevant, Kyle Bruston Ortman, and all the in-betweens. That'll do it for us. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
Act like you know just what to do when the good time roll.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at